It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. You know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the clip out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode 423. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. So, this was going to be a slow week.
It was.
And then we got big news.
Well, I mean, it kind of still is. Like,
yeah.
There's
not, lots of interesting stuff, but not necessarily major breaking stuff. But now we have major breaking stuff.
We do.
So.
Well, it is a rule over at the TCO. If somebody is out for a significant period of time,
Yes.
Peloton is due to drop something major. And so far, that has happened on every vacation. So here we go.
Yes. So I guess what, pray tell, do you have in store for people this week?
We're going to talk about how the guide has been canceled.
R.I.P. guide, we hardly knew you.
It's true. We'll talk all about that. We also have an update on Peloton Repowered. It has been rolled out nationwide. Peloton Teams has new features. There is a brand new Peloton instructor. Actually, let me say that again. Peloton Instagram account. And it's not who you would think it's from.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to talk about that. We also have the date of the new earnings call. Hence, major product developments happening this week.
Sure.
We have a brand new deal between New York Roadrunners and iHeart. And yes, Peloton is connected.
Okay.
Where do instructors go when they leave Peloton? We've got the updates for you. We've got an update about how the leaderboard works. We've got an update on lawsuits, the Bike Plus trademark suit specifically, instructors in the news. We're going to talk about Cody's tread rumors, Aditi Shah releasing The Shift, who's in it, who's being celebrated, Maddie Majacomo and Tunde, what they are going to be hosting, and a crazy Adrian Williams story that I very close to my heart.
Yeah.
Very close. Not to mention, we've got a little bit of competitor news. The
air quotes means echelon.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Whenever you put competitor in air quotes, it's like echelon.
And we're going to talk about this week's newest content, not to mention, in case you missed it, stuff.
Okay. And also just backing up on the echelon, a particularly douchey move from echelon.
I mean, it's right up there with what you would expect from echelon.
Even by echelon standards, pretty douchey. But before we get to all that shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcast, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us while you are there. Be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That is super helpful and greatly appreciated. You can also, if you would like to support the show, not that you're not already by listening, but if you would like to add money to that equation, sure. You can do that over at Patreon. Patreon.com/theclipout. What do you get? Well, first, it's only $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you get for that is you get ad-free episodes. You get all sorts of bonus content every week. You get an additional episode that's 20, 30 minutes long, depending on how chatty we are. Just stuff we didn't have time to get to in the regular episode. You also get early episodes if we get them done early, and we typically do, and then I don't forget to send it out. And I typically don't forget, that is. You get them early.
Yeah.
So that's a benefit, I suppose.
It is.
And then,
it is.
But we don't throw off your Friday rhythm, because then you get your bonus episode on Friday. So, like, you still, if you're used to that Friday one, and you're like, I don't know, I want to throw, but
Don't worry. We got you covered.
We got you. We got you, fam, as the kids say 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your son still says it.
That's true. But he's a giant nerd.
That he is.
I don't know where he gets it from.
It's a shocker.
Yes, 'tis a puzzlement. So, also, you can find us over on YouTube at youtube.com/theclipout, where you can watch all of these. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/theclipout. Like the page, join the group, and of course, we send out a mostly weekly newsletter that will have all the links and whatnot that we talk about in the show, and it's also a nice weekly reminder that we exist. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Wait.
What?
We shall not. I forgot to talk about what's in this week's bonus Patreon episode.
We'll get to it, Tom.
We're going to talk about a new study. This is not the same study as last week about Alzheimer's. This is a different study, but it shows that aggressive lifestyle changes can reverse Alzheimer's at the early stages.
Wow.
And so we'll talk about like what all you need to do if you feel that coming on. Another instructor tackling Pilates ? And Members Monday kicks off. So that's all over on the Patreon. Okay, now
Phew.
let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
Due to popular demand, Peloton has halted sales of the guide.
Ouch.
So I guess I should say, because they've had the guide on sale like...
Well, it's not just on sale. You know, I was thinking about this, and it's really that it has continually dropped price since day one.
Yeah.
Because originally it was
like-
going to be like $350.
Right.
It immediately dropped down to like I guess
It was like $250?
Yeah, it dropped down to $250, and then it has continually dropped since. Like,
Right.
it has never not dropped.
I just thought it was like, you know how they'll tie like Social Security increases to like inflation rates and GDPs? I thought it was like tied to their stock price. Is that not what
No.
that's not what they were
No.
doing? Oh, okay.
But the interesting thing is the people that have a guide
Love
love it.
So here's my advice to you, because we've seen the guide as low as
$45.
$45. So for $45, my advice is if you like the guide, maybe
Snag it.
buy a couple extra
Yeah.
in case the one you got shits the bed. So because they're saying that they're going to continue supporting it and creating content for it, which I know at first blush you're probably like, well, that sounds like corporate speak bullshit. But I think in this case it might not be, because so much of the guide content also gets utilized on Bike Plus.
Well, okay, so here's some other thoughts about that.
Okay.
To your point, yes, it does get used. In fact, the guide has for a long time been the best deal on membership. So
Right.
if you only have a guide, you can for $24 a month get access to every single piece of content that Peloton puts out, except for what is equipment specific, like
Right.
lane break.
Scenic rides.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so besides lane break and scenic rides and entertainment, that kind of thing, everything else is available through the guide. And it was $24 a month and you got up to 5 people
Right.
on that. So it was a great deal. So that's going away. So that's one thing that we need to note.
Okay. So
If you have it, you get to keep that tier.
okay.
It's not changing
Okay, so but they will not let new people into there.
after whatever date. Like, I don't know how that works for, like, let's say it's still selling on Amazon this morning.
Right.
So you go to buy it today. What does that mean? You know, I think, like, if you're a brand new member, I don't know. There must be some kind of overlap. They must have some kind of room for that. But they didn't talk about it in their release.
Right.
So I don't know. Now, if you already have a Peloton membership that is for equipment, you're covered anyway.
Right.
So adding this on will not change that. So those are things to note. But then on the other hand, you know, we have talked about on the show, we have an article written that there are guide-like things that are coming to the tread, to the bike. So does it not make sense anymore to have the guide if that's the case?
Right.
Right? Like, you can, if you have the equipment, you're going to be able to still access all the features that you could from the guide is what, I'm sorry. No, I did say that right.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was like, I don't know what we're correcting. But
I don't either. but that's not out yet. We
Okay.
don't know when it'll be out.
Right.
We just know that it is in the works.
Right.
Okay. Peloton has not officially announced that. Now, earnings call is on the 7th, so anything could happen. We also know that we're going into the last quarter of the fiscal year, the calendar year, not the fiscal year. So anything could happen from that standpoint as well. This is a
Right.
great time to introduce new things because people will buy them ahead of the holiday. So there are so many things, but the people who love it, who love their guide, and they already have one, they are obsessed. But people who have never bought one, and that seems to be the big problem,
yeah.
they're just like, what, why would I need that?
Yeah, I mean, I do think a lot of people that already have a bike or a tread are just kind of like, wide.
It's great to be able to do strength in another room.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things I use it for is like I don't necessarily like, let's say you're doing something on the tonal and I want to do a strength workout or a yoga workout.
Right.
I can easily do that upstairs on the guide. That's really convenient.
Yeah. And when it was $350,
That wasn't so much worth it.
yeah. But when it drops to $45,
Or even not on sale, $95.
yeah. And honestly, I'm like, keep an eye on the TJ Maxx's.
Yeah.
Because, we've seen a lot of Peloton stuff, the weights and things like that end up at TJ Maxx. So you got to think that there's somewhere a warehouse full of guides and if they were selling them as low as $45, you got to think when they hit TJ Maxx, they might be $25.
They might. And another thing to consider is that we've also talked about new equipment coming out as soon as this year. So if that were to happen, who knows? We know that Peloton is coming out with a new bike model. Like,
Yeah.
we know that. It's just a matter of, again, timing. And so it might already be ingrained in that, and you might want to save up. Like, if you're getting ready to buy a Bike Plus, this is going to be a tough choice because I don't know that I would right now. I think I'd hold off. I'd wait to see what Peloton's going to come out with. But yeah, it's a little sad because it's the end of an era on the one hand.
But a pretty short era.
It was a short era. It was. Now, I have to give Peloton props. Like, if it's not working, kill it.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that thing where you're like, but we already spent so much money, you know, the sunk cost.
Right. Yeah, like if Peloton is Van Halen, the guide is the Gary Sharon era.
I don't even know who Gary Sharon is.
Exactly.
I figured that was your point.
Yeah. He was the lead singer of Extreme,
Sure.
who took over after Sammy Hagar.
There is no after Sammy Hagar.
Well, there was, very briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lasted one album, one tour.
Oof. And then Sammy Hagar came back.
Well, then the whole thing kind of went kerpoof, and then I think that's when, like, 10 years later, David Lee Roth comes back, and then that goes kerpoof, and then Sammy, and then David again, and
They're so confusing.
they are they're those kids.
I
They
know.
were so
Crazy kids.
But yeah, so the guide is no more, and that's effective today.
Like the
day we're
emailed me-
recording this.
Yeah, so Wednesday,
July
July 30th,
Yeah.
they emailed me. It was already gone off their site. Like, they were like, it is gone.
Yeah.
Effective immediately. Worldwide.
It's like
Kaput.
when somebody gets divorced and they change that relationship status immediately.
Instantly.
Peloton didn't even go to it's complicated.
No.
They were just like single.
Yeah. They were like, unfollow, unsubscribe.
And then started sliding into other people's DMs.
Oh, I just think back to, I remember when the guide was first coming out, and I was just like, yeah, but like, how can it be so amazing compared to the tonal? Because like, I just couldn't see it. It's great on its own. If you don't compare it to the tonal,
Right.
it is a great thing. But like, when you have something like the tonal, you can't compare.
You really can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Moving along, Peloton Repowered has rolled out nationwide.
Yeah, it's officially no longer in beta status, and you now have the ability to sell your bike through Peloton through this repowered thing all across the country. It's still only in the U.S., hasn't rolled out to Canada or other countries as of yet, but that is still a big deal.
I don't know. I really enjoy the cesspool that is Facebook Marketplace. Will they be doing anything to replicate that?
I mean, God, I hope not. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah. Well, and now, if memory serves, correct me if I'm wrong, because you always do.
That's my job here.
And not just here, even when we're not recording.
Oh, I meant in life.
Oh, gotcha. You went here in an existential sense.
I did.
Gotcha. Okay. If someone purchases a bike or a tread or a row through Peloton Repowered, they do not have to pay that connection fee, correct?
I think it's like a reduced
Is that what it is?
connection
Okay.
fee or something like it is different price, or
Yeah.
maybe it's not at all. I don't remember. We talked about this a couple weeks
It's been a
ago,
bit,
but but I don't remember.
I thought that was one of the advantages.
I think you made it up that it should be an advantage because it's common sense,
Yeah.
right? But I don't know that it is, because if you're still outside of the Peloton like ecosystem,
yeah.
I think they still get you.
Gotcha.
But if you're a person who's buying, like, I don't think you like, if you already own a Peloton bike and you're buying a second one, I don't recall if you there's something about it that's different, but I don't remember exactly what it is, and I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You should look these things up if you have these big questions.
Well, I didn't have them until we started talking about it. And then it just happened. Moving right along. Peloton Teams is getting some new features.
Yeah, they are. And it's interesting because I'm not quite sure if these are new or they're just pushing.
Right.
Because you're able to now apparently share your favorite classes. But I'll be honest, I haven't figured out how to do it. Like, I keep trying, and it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, go and get the link for the class and then post it as a comment? Like, I'm not really clear what's supposed to happen here.
You're like, don't you just add it to the TCO top 5
Right.
and write an article about it?
That seems so much easier.
Isn't that what everyone does?
You can. One thing that I did notice was different is that admins can now pin announcements. So you can be like, hey, we're all going to do a big contest this week. And then you can pin that at the top. So in other words, they're starting to get very basic social media functions and like roll them out. So you can share your classes, you can celebrate with posts, and you can now pin announcements, highlights, and more.
Ooh.
But I don't really
What's
think,
the more?
I don't really think there is.
Tell us about the more.
I don't think there is. and I still have the larger problem with this that, like, on real social media, I have notifications that I can understand.
Right.
Like, giving me that I have some kind of notification within the Peloton app and it just has a number. Like, that number never drops below like 300 on my phone. So, like,
what is
drawing me over there.
Right.
It's just so, like, not realistic. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with that, you know?
And for you, 300 notifications is so minor, it's not even worth your time. You're Clip Out Crystal.
Well, I think lots of people have that issue.
So many notifications.
And I feel like, but like, it doesn't give you like a banner notification. It's literally just like you happen to open your Peloton app. And when you open your Peloton app, it's like the little Teams icon has a number next to it. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that comes to my actual phone. So like, if somebody on my team were like, hey, we're doing the big event today, I'd be like, why didn't you just tell me in Slack? Why did you do it over here? I think they have a ways to go before it's like, it's going to like really get where I think they're trying to go.
For sure.
But hey, they're making progress, so that's great.
Well, speaking of Peloton and social media, if you can't get enough Peloton in your Instagram feed, we got a new one for you.
We do.
The Peloton production assistants have launched their own Instagram.
Now, here's a challenge to all of you listeners out there. I would like to see how high we can get this follower number. Right now, they only have 222 followers. I don't think they know that the rest of the world can see them because there's nothing about Peloton on there. It just says the PA room.
It doesn't seem near as corporately curated as the traditional Peloton Instagram accounts.
Which means for all of us,
it's going to be a lot more fun.
It could be there could be some things.
Yeah.
Put there. So
and
I would like to see.
And we should also say we're not getting them in trouble or
No.
revealing a secret because we actually went through who their followers were
to make sure we weren't outing anybody.
To make sure that like there are numerous Peloton instructors and Peloton corporate people following the account. So we didn't just take a fun thing and destroy it for these people. Like, people at Peloton are already aware of this. It's not a secret thing that they're going to have fun with and we ruined.
And I'll be honest, most of it is inside jokes. The rest of us aren't going to get it.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I don't know how much it's really going to amuse the average person because we're not there. And this is like, they're kind of poking fun at their jobs. And it's like, you know, I could make a private inside joke about my work and you would not get it.
No. I would not.
I don't know how much anybody will enjoy it. But I think it's interesting, if nothing else, that they have their own Instagram account.
For sure. The next earnings call date has been set, which you alluded to earlier.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Got ahead of us there.
Sorry. August 7th, 8:30 a.m.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure they will do all the explaining about why the guide is no more.
I mean, it all comes down to money, right?
Well, for sure.
That's all you need to say.
Like, people weren't buying them.
Yeah.
New York Roadrunners has inked a 3-year deal with iHeart.
This is fascinating to me, okay? Because the New York Set the Pace podcast presented by Peloton is now going to air year-round on iHeart Radio New York 710 WOR. That is apparently known as the Voice of New York. And they are going to now be airing the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile. That's going to happen on the radio for the first time ever.
Okay.
It's never happened before. And the TCS New York City Marathon radio broadcast has been extended for 3 years. Now, what does this have to do with Peloton? I will tell you. Number one.
What does this have to do with Peloton?
I will tell you.
Oh, okay.
Number one, Bex Gentry is the co-host with Rob Simmelcare.
Yes.
So that's one. Two, this is an extension of iHeartRadio and New York Roadrunners, but I think by proxy it is also an extension of the Peloton deal. And here's why. Because this year they have decided, the New York Roadrunners, they have created for the first time ever a studio where they are now hosting the podcast. And for the first time ever, probably because they have a studio,
Right.
it is now on video as well. Now,
They're not just doing it in Bex Gentry's basement?
they are not.
Oh.
I know.
I like those basement podcasts.
They have a certain panache.
They do.
Gravitas. But that means to me that they are leveling everything about this podcast up.
Right.
The last year they have had an amazing number of very high level people on the podcast. And I think that between that happening, the leveling up of the podcast, and Bex Gentry being the co-host, I just think that that indicates that the relationship with Peloton will continue as well, because it is literally in the name.
Right.
New York Set the Pace, presented by Peloton.
Yeah.
So that is why we are talking about it, because it does seem like it is an important thing.
And it sounded like that's going to get structured as a radio show and get pushed out to iHeart affiliates, and I'm sure each affiliate can choose whether, they don't have to run everything provided to them, but it said it's going to be a Sunday show.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so like
You read further than I did.
Yeah, so like I think that, you could hear in other markets, if iHeart has a news talk station or a sports talk station, you could hear that popping up on your local airwaves as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. They're also adding race day fan engagement, and they are adding on the ground race week coverage. So there's a ton of things that happen all throughout these races, especially the New York City Marathon.
Right.
They're going to be part of that. So that's pretty cool. And of course, they're going to have the weekly broadcast of the Set the Pace podcast as well. I just saw, so I have to say this, that the discontinuation of the guide,
Yeah.
the stock price is up 10% this morning.
Okay.
Hell if I know.
It's the guide that was holding them back.
Yeah.
that's been the problem all this,
It has.
for the last 3 years.
Yeah, that was it. Fixed it.
Yeah. So, before we wrap up this portion of the show, a couple articles over at theclipout.com that we want to point your eyes towards that you might be interested in. First is an article all about, where do Peloton instructors go? Do they find their rainbow?
Well, and Elizabeth wrote a great article about this, and she specifically focused on, because it's been a year, on Kendall and Ross and Kristen, where they're at today, what they're doing today.
Yeah.
Now, we'll probably shortly have a follow-up when the rest of their stuff comes out, because I know that there are things in the works for these instructors.
Sure.
And they haven't officially announced them. But of course, you got to wait till all the legal stuff dies down. So that's first. But this particular article focuses on those three. So if you'd like to find out where they've been, Elizabeth did a beautiful job on it.
Awesome. So I just thought they went to a farm upstate, when your dog went away.
Sure.
Just went to a farm upstate.
I have to say, I thought I was pretty clever with my Bowling for Soup song when I posted this.
You're like, you used Ohio, come back to Texas.
I did. And the first line was written just for Kendall. She needed a break.
I don't think she was the only one. We also have an article all about how the leaderboard works.
Yeah, specifically, so many people have asked us, what is going on with this distance leaderboard versus the old style,
Right.
the original leaderboard. So we have an article that was also written by Elizabeth that lists everything out, explains it all. And I just want to acknowledge there are still people that don't see this on their bike and their tread and their row.
That's crazy.
And I have no idea why,
Yeah.
because it has been rolled out. It's no longer in beta, and I don't know why people aren't seeing it. So, but I do want to acknowledge they're not crazy.
Yeah.
Like it is out there.
Have you tried turning off Peloton and turning it back on? That's my advice.
Unplug it for 5 seconds.
Right. Count to 5, but like a 5 Mississippi.
Yeah, and you have to have it unplugged the whole time. You
whole
count.
time.
You can't just hit the off button.
And then before you plug it back in, lick it.
No. Don't do that one. The lawyers frown on that, Tom. But it's a great article that like gives a lot of detail here. So
And it will be in the weekly newsletter.
it sure will.
So if you if you don't know where to go find it, sign up at theclipout.com and I'll just email it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very kind of you.
I'm very gracious.
Who's suing Peloton now?
So Peloton has been embroiled for a while now in this lawsuit over the Bike Plus trademark.
Yeah.
So there was another company that one time in conversation said Bike Plus,
Exactly.
and they were like, no, we own that. Now, it was a little bit more than that. It was World Champ Tech.
Never heard of them.
They had registered the trademark Bike Plus all the way back in 2014, and it was a cycling app.
Yeah. And they alleged that there would be confusion because consumers would assume Peloton's product was affiliated with WCT. But because no one had ever heard of
Right.
WCT or cared
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form, it got thrown out.
The court said no, and then they appealed, and then it went to the Ninth Circuit appeal, and the Ninth Circuit appeal said, we don't know who you are or why you're here. No.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's they said it like in Latin or something. So
They said WCT's expert survey found a 12% confusion rate, which courts typically regard as insufficient absent corroborating evidence. WCT provided no reports of real-world confusion among members.
yeah, so from what I understand, if it's at 10% or below the confusion rate, like the court will just be like, we're done here.
Yeah.
And if it's between 10 and 20, then you need to show corroborating evidence to establish that people are getting confused.
And that appears to be the part that
And
they failed.
so when they were 12, I guess they didn't have enough corroborating evidence, and so they were just like, there is no confusion here. Like, we're just going to make this go away.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
all trademark infringement claims regarding Bike Plus were dismissed, and their appeal was denied.
Denied.
So
Peloton wins again.
Peloton wins again.
Now, here's a question. Since it's already been struck down, can they appeal again? Or are we like done?
I think we're done. I mean, you went to an appeals court.
And the appeals court said no.
Yeah, it's not like death row.
I didn't know. I mean, I don't know. It feels like with the law, like they just make stuff up. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
that's just the government. I can't tell anymore. But it's super confusing because it feels like that. Like there are so many like avenues. I just remember this this very nice woman who was on the show. Lori Cheek, and
Yeah.
she was on Shark Tank.
Yes.
And she had created this really cool app called Cheeked. And then like this whole thing happened because there was a person who just like randomly was like, she stole my idea.
Yeah.
And it got dismissed. And then he sued
Just
her again.
kept doing it.
I mean, I don't even know. Maybe it's still happening today.
Yeah.
But like I know it happened like 5 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's nothing to stop you from continuing to file lawsuits, but since this is corporate, I got to think at some point, you know,
They're just going to be like, what's the point?
I think this guy that was doing that, if memory,
Something had.
he was an attorney, so there was no cost to him because he would just go do it himself.
Good point, good point,
Where,
yeah.
you know, like World Champion Tech or whatever it's called, like they have to pay people to go do this on their behalf. So at some point, it's just not financially efficient.
Okay. Well, that is good to know.
Yeah. And coming up after this, we got instructors in the news. Cody Rigsby addresses the tread rumors. Will he or will he not be on the tread? Aditi Shah talks about the release of the Shift. And Adrian Williams talks about his car accident. So stick around.
Instructors in the news.
Hey, before we start up instructors in the news, we should, because like we're recording this like minutes after the guide announcement came down. You just saw that the guide is no longer available for sale on Amazon.
Yeah, so in other
So they're
words,
now going for $300 on eBay.
yeah, pretty much. So our idea about like buying it while you can, too late.
Never mind. Retracted.
Unless you see it like a floor model at Dick's Sporting Goods, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
So that's it. Last day was yesterday.
Keep an eye out at TJ Maxx.
Yep.
I'm telling you. So Cody Rigsby addressed the tread rumors head on.
He did, yeah. So Tipster Trish was in London on a little jaunt, as she does.
Yes, she's very jaunty.
She is very jaunty. Well, she was in a class with Cody Rigsby, and she was like, hey, you're doing that 2-for-1 with John Hosking. Everybody is assuming you are now adding tread to your classes.
Yes.
What up? And he said, I don't know why I'm there. I guess it's just to look pretty. I am definitely not moving to the tread. Those were his words.
There you go.
He is not moving to the tread, so squash it.
It has been duly squashed. You're welcome. So Aditi Shah had a post about celebrating the release of The Shift, a new fancy pants magazine.
Okay, but this is really confusing. So The Shift, it's called The Shift is On, and it is an impact and innovation publication. This first issue features Gloria Steinem, and it is photographed by Inez, and I don't know, Inez. And
You're just Inez.
and it celebrates her 91 years of activism and highlighting 90 women shifting culture. Now, I wanted to explain this because Aditi posted this and she was super excited to be part of it. I have no idea what that means as far as her being part of it because it really doesn't explain it. And I searched all over the interwebs.
Right.
Not even AI had an answer for me. The other thing is Jen Cotter was featured in this magazine. She is one of the 90 people.
Right.
And specifically, she is mentioned as one of the people in business. So congrats to Jen Cotter. I know that Aditi likes to be involved in several types of activism and culture. And so my thought is she is a behind the scenes person pushing this forward. Like she was one of the people that made this all possible. But because it doesn't say, I don't know that specifically.
Right.
That's just me reading between the lines.
Gotcha.
And so this post is about Aditi, but it's also about Jen Cotter being highlighted as one of the 90 women. And I think that's pretty cool.
And The Shift, because I went to, I was like, what is this?
theshiftison.com.
Yes. And it is a biannual magazine.
This is the first issue.
Right. So
we'll have twice a year.
Twice a year. And it's very like, it's really more like a book.
It is.
Than a magazine.
It is.
And if you want to buy, you can buy it in softback or hardback. And softback is $35.
Ooh.
And then the hardback is $80.
Oh.
But it's very like photo intensive, very like high end upper class
and it's
fancy.
beautiful. Like it looks like a coffee table
It
book.
does.
And it has like each woman is highlighted, and then it has like her biography and why she's being highlighted, the different things that she has done. It's a beautiful book. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's very fancy. It's very upscale. I'll be very interested to see
How long it lasts. Because magazines just, you don't see a lot of new magazines.
It's a tough environment for magazines. It's interesting, this idea of like 2 a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super topical. Like it's not, like obviously Time magazine has to come out weekly and be very much in the present tense. This is not so much. So it'll be interesting to see if this is a new way to do something like that.
It will. And I hope that it catches on because it would be nice to have that type of physical media again.
Yeah.
That doesn't overwhelm,
Right.
because when you get something weekly, it's too much. It's too
Yeah.
much. Like, I don't know what to do with all of it.
Well, and before the internet, it wasn't too much,
No,
right?
no,
but
it was
now
great.
that you're constantly getting that information,
It's too much.
it's too much. Yeah. Maddie Majacomo and Tunde are going to host the Athlete Ally Action Awards.
They are, and I think it's fun that they are co-hosting together. If I had to pick a couple of Peloton instructors, these would not be the two Like, I would never think of pairing these two.
Oh, putting them together.
Yeah, but
Gotcha.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it because they're both super funny. They're both very charismatic, and they both have really big personalities, but not about themselves. Like, both of them can have like great conversations and insights about other people. It doesn't always have to be about them.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to see how this goes. This year's awards honor New York Liberty and Ohio State Athlete Ally Campus Charter that's called Buckeye Spectrum. And there's also going to be an additional honoree to be named soon. And you can get tickets to be there. And of course, I'm sure if you're able to go, you will actually get to meet Maddie and Tunde if you have not been lucky enough to do so far.
Adrian Williams had an Instagram post or story, because it's gone now, but about getting into a car accident.
Yeah, he was driving down the road, minding his own business, and he got hit by a truck. And everybody was okay in Adrian's car. But the truck left. It was a hit and run. I know. And that makes me so mad. And then in addition to that, he had to wait on the side of the road for 4 hours to get help. I mean, it's not like, there's a tow truck up the road. You know, it turned into a whole thing. So over 4 hours, actually.
Yeah, that would be maddening.
So mad. And especially when you did nothing wrong, and then the person just drives away and probably is going to get away with it. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you didn't catch their plates, like, what are you going to do?
Maybe they did. Maybe he did. I don't know. I didn't see that part.
I mean, it seems unlikely. Like, in that moment, you're like, what happened? And then by the time you kind of figure out what happened, somebody like that, they're off.
The only thing that he might have going for him is if he had a dash cam. And a lot of people do these days.
That's true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really glad Adrian's okay. I'm really glad everybody in the car is okay. And whoever was in that truck, you're a big fat jerk. Not cool.
Coming up after this, we've got competitors in the news. We're going to talk to you about Echelon and the douchey move they pulled. And we'll also talk about content, all the classes and stuff that you might want to check out. So stick around.
Checking out the competition.
Echelon has
Echelon's being all echelon-y.
bricked some of its own equipment.
They have, yeah. So they have equipment. There's different kinds of equipment that you can buy from Echelon, and some of it you could get online, and you could even have access to third-party apps. And what they have done is that if you do not have, they uploaded a new firmware. Let me say that. And now, if the gym equipment is not connected to the internet, it completely bricks the machine. Even though that's not
What you bought. Yeah.
They are completely bricking it.
Yeah.
And this all came up because there is a guy who, his name is Robert Viola, and he develops the QZ app that connects Echelon to third-party fitness platforms like Peloton, Strava, Apple Health Kit. It doesn't work now. And he's like, hello? And Echelon has not made an official statement. It makes me think personally that in this day of all of these different exercise places contracting and getting smaller, I suspect they are hurting. They never should have gotten in the connected fitness business. They only did it because they wanted to be like Peloton. They shouldn't have. And now I suspect they are having some financial issues. So I'm not, honestly, even though I can't stand Echelon, I am not wishing ill to a company. Like, I never want to see a company go out of business. But I will say this does not look good.
It is not a good look, no. And it's like, I know if people are saying, well, Peloton works the same way, but when you buy a Peloton,
you know that going in.
You know that going in. That's a choice that you made.
It's just like an Apple product.
Right.
You know that it's gated, and you know that you can't do certain things.
For sure.
Yeah, it's very different.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5. You tell us your favorite classes, and then we tell you them right back. So, number 1, your favorite strength app split.
Okay, so it is Grind and Defined, which is taught by Rebecca Kennedy. You have 1 week's worth of classes, and then you do 4 different classes, and the idea is to repeat it over and over again and watch yourself get stronger. Well, Mindy Jensen loves it. She says that she is currently starting week 7 and she's really enjoying it. She's been increasing her weights from where she started and she loves being able to see the progress. And the setup is super simple. Upper pull, lower squat, upper push, lower hinge. The moves are basic, but not easy. And you can swap out exercises for what you do have if you don't have equipment that's in the move. So if all you have is dumbbells, you can still do the entire split.
Oh, cool.
So we suggest that you give it a try. Remember that this is only available on the Strength Plus app. And sadly, at least as of today, that is only available in the United States on Apple products.
Gotcha.
Who knows what will happen as of the earnings call? Maybe Guide getting out of there is changing everything.
Perhaps.
We don't know.
Yeah. Number 2, your
Favorite run is my girl Mariana Fernandez 90-minute long run taught on May 5th. And this class was nominated by Mercedes. And she said she took this run and it was so unbelievably motivating. She loves how Mariana split the blocks of work to be like the format of a play. And then it had to be about her life, which a lot of us can relate to.
Number 3, your favorite outdoor walk.
This walk was brought up by Marie K. Burdick, and it was taught by Alex Toussaint on July 23rd. Marie said the words Alex Toussaint and chill are never in the same sentence, but this outdoor walk is just that. It was a perfect walk for one of these humid days.
And if a walk's not good enough for you, we got a favorite outdoor run at number 4.
We do. It was a 45-minute 2-for-1 outdoor run club with Bex and Susie. I ended up taking about half of this live the other day because I wandered in and it was already on. I was like, oh, and I took it on my tread because you can do that. And it was 95 degrees outside. No, thank you. But it was so fun. Karen Smith loved it. She said this run was fantastic. Couldn't even tell you any of the music played because the banter between these two was easy and fun to listen to. All the 2-for-1s are awesome, but these two have some magic together. It made the time fly by.
And finally, number 5, it's your unstackable. It's a Strength Plus walk class.
Okay, day 2 of the Split Plus walk with Jocelyn Thompson rule is the one we're talking about. And actually, I guess technically it's day 3 because day 2 is a rest day. So day 3 is really what we're looking at. But Karen Smith, she was just an overachiever this week. She said this class was so good. It's been a hot minute since I really felt my sides being sore, but this class did it. Tall, kneeling side bends sneak up on you. And remember, you can only find this in the program section of the Peloton equipment and the guide.
For now.
You can also find it on your phone. Some people are still having issues being able to get the programs on their phone, including Tina.
So we will now take a look at this week at Peloton. We've got longer yoga.
We do. Yeah, there's a 60-minute yoga with Kira. It's an intermediate yoga flow. And there are, surprisingly, 137 yoga classes that are 60-minute long.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And Kira has 33. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I was surprised at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought there'd be that many. So there's also some other yoga classes this week if you want to check them out, like a 45-minute intermediate yoga and Pilates with Anna.
These are so surprisingly tough. Like, I highly recommend that you take these classes. And Anna does a great job at teaching these as well.
And there's also a 45-minute intermediate slow flow with Aditi.
Yes.
And moving on from yoga, we've got some scenic classes updates.
We do. They all launched today, actually, July 30th. And there are new classes on the bike, tread, and row. And they include places like New Zealand.
So we have a Teddy Swims bike boot camp. So I guess you'd take your Peloton to the pool.
Yeah. You call it Teddy.
Right.
And then you watch Teddy swim.
You train for your Ironman.
Yeah. Well, we're all a little bit confused by this, to be honest, though, because we recently had an artist series called Teddy Swims, and this one didn't make it. And we don't know why. We don't know if this was it needed some kind of extra editing and it didn't make it out in time for the artist series, or if there was, we don't know.
It's a deleted scene.
There you go. There you go.
Like when you get to see Eric Stoltz playing Marty McFly.
Just like that.
Yes. So Robin Arzan has teased a High Rocks program in one of her classes.
She did. Yeah. She was teaching a class the other day, and she says there is going to be a High Rocks program coming out. And that is from one of our listeners. So thank you for keeping us informed, Nicole. We appreciate it.
So if you like Christine D'Ercole's reflection rides, they will now be collected into a collection.
They
you
will
can collect them.
It's nice because when you want to find the whole gamut, because in the past Peloton has had these signature series, but they haven't all you can't find them all easily. So it's lovely that they will be contained inside of a collection, not a program, a collection, and that is awesome. There's also a new one popping up this week. And as of Thursday, you will be able to find the reflection rides in a collection.
And finally, for our content portion, Dennis Morton has added a Sample That ride class to the schedule.
He has. It is going to be coming up on Saturday, August 16th at noon. It's noon Central. Sorry, let me clarify.
Okay.
We haven't had one of these in a while. And if people don't know what a Sample That ride is, he plays the original songs like from an old R&B, and then he plays a current hip hop song or something like that plays the original sample. Marcel also does this, and she calls it Sample Sundays. And hers are not a signature series, but she does them very often on Sundays, and they're a lot of fun. I find it a little frustrating because I can't think of the names of things, so I'll like recognize it, but I can't think of the name of it to save my life.
In case you missed it.
Team Peloton X has a mileage challenge for people if you are so inclined.
They do. So I guess they do these pretty often. They're currently doing one from South Padre, Texas to Panama City, but they are coming up with a brand new challenge, which is going to be from California all the way to New York. And the idea is to do with the team, about 140 miles a week or 20 miles a day. You go at your own pace, but they try to all finish together. And they have about a week buffer to make up for the miles. And I just think it's a really nice thing for everybody to do together. And Mandy Joyride sent that to me, and I thought it was really cool. The challenge starts 10/13 and registration hard close on 11/2. So you've got plenty of time to join.
And finishing together can be quite a challenge. Just saying.
Peloton birthdays.
There has been a drought of birthdays within the Peloton world. There are none in July.
Not one.
Not one. But August, the dam has broken.
Told ya.
And there are a ton. There are 4 this week.
Okay, who do we have?
So we have JV Nava on August 2nd, and she was previously the Peloton community director.
Yeah, well, she was VP of community something or other. And now, for those of you who don't know, JV was the original, basically, face of Peloton. She ran all of the community socials back in the day, and she also ran things like the event in New York where we
Homecoming, then HRI, then Homecoming.
Exactly. And she kept everybody informed. She was just a lovely, lovely person, and our very first contact at Peloton.
Then on August 3rd, Marion Roman.
Marion Roman is the first content director of Peloton. And actually, she is who brought in our beloved Howie into the Peloton fold. So there's a lot of history with both Marion and JV.
Yeah. August 5th, Jess Sims.
And Jess Sims is still around Peloton. We all know who she is.
Probably don't need to explain that one, nor do we need to explain on August 6th, Alex Toussaint.
Well, happy birthday, JV, Marion, Jess, and Alex.
So I guess that brings this episode to a close. Until next week, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can also find me on Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, and the Peloton Leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. Don't forget, you can find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. Jesus Christ.
This isn't Real Spoilers.
Facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/The Clip Out. $5 a month. You get all sorts of bonus content, ad-free episodes, early episodes, and real life. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pedaling
and running
and rowing.
Bye.